You need a fucking haircut.
No, I'll never get a haircut ever again.
All right.
Ever again. I'm going to have such a cool ponytail.
Hi, welcome back to the radio podcast. My name's Austin. I'm joined by Devin.
Hello.
And Jeff.
Hello.
Devin was not prepared.
I was not. I was about to rub my eye, and now I've done it on the air, live.
To tape.
Live to tape.
Yes.
This is not live. That would be a lot of pressure.
I wonder when people will stop saying tape. Like, just when, like, that is no longer, like, everyone's aged out of it to the point that no one has even heard their superiors say it.
I don't think that it will go away.
Like, ever?
Yeah.
I think it'll go away sometime, but not in our lifetime.
I mean, I guess they're still
The
selling
English language
cassette
is
tapes.
like a decent example of that. Like, the H in ghost.
The what?
The H in ghost didn't go away. It's...
Excuse me?
The English language is a fucking nightmare for
It
anyone
is.
that didn't grow up speaking it.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but, like...
I'll find the reason for the ghost thing and show it to you later.
Slang goes away
About
sometimes.
slang. Live to tape isn't slang. That was describing...
I'm just talking about tape as a
Tape will never
word
go
to
away.
describe recording.
like on the
I don't
cassette.
I don't think it'll go away.
That seems silly to me, and it like
will.
in a generation
It
where
will.
like somebody's never seen a
Live
tape before.
to flash drive.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't have the same ring.
it's just
to
like,
it.
oh yeah, it's live recording. I guess that'd be the way to say that.
No, because we could live record with, like,
you
we had
could
an
actually
audience in
be
front
live.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, cause like I could call Daniel and put him on speakerphone, and like that's like a live audience, but it's like a live recording.
that's true, and we'd have to mute his end. That way he isn't heard.
He could get like an advanced screening of the week's episode with all the bullshit prior to starting.
Indeed.
Let's not do that. Let's never
No.
do a live show, actually.
Yes,
Let's never do a live anything.
agreed.
I do a lot of editing. Lots of ums.
Oof.
Lots of oofs.
The oofs need to stay in though. Those are reactionary oofs.
What if I count them?
Count those oofs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I need to look into Amazon and see how much one of those people counters,
Oh, they're not expensive.
and just buy them and just sit there and click how many times to say and like, because I'm a nightmare.
Um,
I actually probably need to have one of you do it, because I can't imagine I'm going to do a very good job counting myself, because it's...
yeah, but if you counted me, then I'd probably have to kill you.
No, I mean, I need you to count me, because I'm going to
What
do a
if
bad
you
job.
count me?
And then I'll count, and then
We both count him.
we're going to need two of them, because he just goes over... What do those roll up to? 999? These
Yeah.
digital or analog that we're talking?
Analog.
Yeah.
I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
Like live to tape. It's the old stuff.
You know, they're still selling cassette tapes for new things.
I bet hipsters like cassette tapes.
Yeah, I don't get it. Cassette tapes are back, though.
Yeah, I've heard that there's like a... Yeah, I've heard that.
I guess it's just like a physical thing
It's the
for a
evolution
thing you
of
like.
vinyl being back.
See, except vinyl is like
Something that
like
deteriorates
high
every
fidelity.
every time that you use it.
Like it is like it brings something to the table, in which cassette does not.
You can rewind it with a pencil.
Or your pinky. You just, oh man, you
I
jam
don't-
your pinky
Or you
right
can
there,
just pull all that tape out, and then you get like a nice streamer.
and
Yeah.
you could hit people with it
Yeah.
once before it breaks.
I don't think vinyl deteriorates
It absolutely does.
It does.
It's
that quickly.
there's
It's based on friction.
It deteriorates more rapidly than any other of the recording mediums.
I bet tape.
No.
Yeah.
Depending on what...
Like cassette tapes?
Sure, if you get it like UV damaged.
Cassette tapes.
But it's just magnetic.
What about
reading.
CD decay?
No, because that's
starting to be a thing.
Yeah, CD rot.
Yes, but it's not as big of a thing as like... okay, sure.
I guess due to usage, though.
Vinyls deteriorate due to usage. They don't deteriorate as much for storage.
Well,
they could
my
warp
favorite
and things.
Styx album.
But CDs could, just deteriorate for no good reason.
That makes me sad.
Welcome to our music podcast.
Everything
Hard data podcast.
Tape.
we own is ephemeral and finite in its lifespan.
I need to live forever.
Everything's finite.
I need to be immortalized.
Except for time and space. But everything else, yeah.
Put
I need
my
to be
brain in a
immortalized.
machine.
What if I...
No thanks.
Jeff knows what's up.
Yeah.
What if you put your brain in a robot?
No thank you.
And you could just crush skulls.
Yeah.
I don't need to crush
What if you
skulls.
have robot hands?
Then I just rip them off of my regular human body. We've been over this time and again.
I saw a person with a prosthetic leg.
Where's this going?
Nowhere devious.
Okay.
That it had a processor in the knee joint of it, so they were amputated above the knee. So their prosthetic was the knee down to the foot and stuff like that. And there was a processor in the knee joint that helped with their gait, and it could sense when they were going up hills or upstairs and changed how it moved dependent on that.
Fucking rad.
And like you could not tell.
We're living in the future.
Yeah, it was really
That's
cool.
like some Deus Ex shit.
It sure is. But it was kind of weird because they were putting it on. They had to like unplug it from the wall first because it had been charging. I was like, huh.
Oh, that's neat. Do you use like a wall wart and like plug it in with micro USB?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it
Really?
looked like. Yeah.
That's neat.
My charging station for my phone and for my leg.
Can you store, like, does it have Pandora? Do you like plug it into your car?
I'm sure you could. I don't.
That's a neat
I don't
thing.
think you want to use your battery up for playing music when you were trying to walk around. I've also seen some stuff from, I forget which one of the snowboard companies, but they're making some prosthetics that are intended to be used for like sporting activities. And it's pretty cool too. They're like you put your foot in this binding for a snowboard, and it's got some sort of suspension geometry going on.
I've
and
seen
you
like
can go
rad
snowboard in
prosthetic
it.
legs for like runners
Oh yeah, the weird
that are
hooky
like,
things.
yeah, that are like,
Kind of look like the portal boots.
kind
yeah,
of.
they're inverted from what you would think, but
They
yeah,
go real fast. So it's like a spring. So
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
a spring in your step.
Yes.
Speaking of steps.
what are we, a racing podcast? What's going on?
Yeah, speaking of steps, motorsport.
Motorsport, the stepless sport.
You like that pivot?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was going to say, it really puts a spring in my step. Racing.
Sitting down in a car.
Not sure if that's better or worse than what you said, but
Mine had nothing to do with anything.
now we've got both of them. And that's good.
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's feeling the awkwardness that this room's feeling right now, listening to us in their headphones.
Speaking of good, some good news happened this week. And
What's that?
The YouTube channel Let's Go Racing, formerly Nismo TV,
Tell me about it.
acquired the rights to Super Formula.
Fuck yeah.
And this Super Formula season opener happened this weekend. So, I've now seen the first race of the Super Formula season. I could have watched it live. I actually
Tell me
didn't,
about Nick Cassidy.
I didn't stay up late enough to actually watch it live, but I could have. Now that Jeff's mentioned ums again, I'm noticing them and it sucks. Anyway, another thing.
But yeah, tell me about it.
About this channel is now that they're not owned by Nissan.
They can talk shit on Nissan.
They can talk shit on Nissan, and they do nonstop. No. Instead, what I was going to say there is they have a Patreon type thing to where it's like, oh, if you want to give money to these guys, like nothing all of the motorsport is not behind a paywall. Like, you can just watch the race live, but if you want to give these guys some money to, like, say, help them secure rights for other things.
Are you telling me that they're on Patreon?
You can, like, no, YouTube has its own thing now.
Oh, wow.
Of YouTube, like, memberships. It's like, oh, if you want to be a member for, like, $5 a month, you can do that.
If you want to be a patron of the show.
Yes, essentially.
Check out our Patreon.
And then, like, while you're watching a Super Formula race, per se, you could just, like, oh, there's a safety car period, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, and thanks, Devin Mitchell. And I'm like, yay, that's me.
Wait. Oh, did you give them money?
Yeah, and they said my name twice, and I said, yay, that's me.
Did you? Wait, this actually happened?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
You should have made your name Radio Podcast.
Well,
ooh, that's a
I
good
subscribed via my personal YouTube account because
we have a Gmail.
I wasn't thinking about it.
We also have a YouTube account.
It's true, because that's the same thing.
What?
I might have to give money to these people.
Google.com. Have you heard of them?
They own everything. They're listening right now. Devin's phone is in his pocket.
It's true. Also, we're going to give this file to them later.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is wild. Computers, man.
Anyway.
Rocks that we put electricity in.
Super Formula. This, you may remember from, I guess, 2 years ago we talked about it when Pierre Gasly was there.
It's like F1, but Japanese.
Yeah, it's like kind of halfway between Formula 2 and Formula 1.
Back when Pierre Gasly was good?
He was good in Toro Rosso too, man.
Yeah.
Got the kid some slack.
Yeah. Buster. But speaking of Red Bull Juniors, in addition to Nick Cassidy, who you mentioned, another notable name here is Daniel Ticktum, who is another Red Bull Junior who is probably going to replace Daniel Kvyat next year, I would suspect. Like, he is the person that he was rumored that he might be getting that seat at Toro Rosso this year.
He doesn't have a super license.
But he didn't have his super license. And
he's not close enough.
Now he's trying to get it here this year in Super Formula. Another notable Red Bull affiliate, actually technically not Red Bull affiliated, but you'll see where I'm going from here, is Harrison Newey, son of Adrian Newey, is also racing in Super Formula.
Interesting.
And another notable name that I've got here is Artyom. Actually, it might be RTM. I haven't looked at it. Markelov, who's another notable Formula 2 driver from last year, is participating in Super Formula this year. And an old man that you'll recognize, Kamui Kobayashi,
that
also
old guy
in this race.
I like Kobayashi.
So of the drivers I've mentioned, Kobayashi starting this race P8, Nick Cassidy starting P12, Daniel Ticktum P16, Harrison Newey P17, and Markelov P20 out of 20 cars. These races are, so this is new chassis for this season. All of the cars have the exact same chassis, and the teams buy their engines from either Honda or Toyota. They're 4-cylinder turbos. They sound pretty good, though. I don't think they're hybrids, but they sound cool despite just being 4 cylinders. And the cars weigh about 3/4 of what an F1 car weighs. Okay. I think he said that an F1 car is around 800 kilos. And
what's that in American?
God only knows.
About what? I don't know.
Kilograms to pounds. And a Super Formula car is about 3/4 of a pound. So another thing is that they
3/4 of a pound?
Sorry, 3/4 of the weight of an F1 car. Okay. What am I saying? Like 600 kilos for a Super Formula car. So they don't have DRS, but they do have an overtake button.
Push to pass.
Which gives them 100 seconds of increased fuel flow over the course of the entire race. And this is displayed by like an LED that goes around the roll hoop over their heads that when they're not using it is green, and when they are using it, it like flashes.
That's neat.
And when they get under like 20%, it changes to red, so you can know roughly how much somebody has. It's either like, oh, they're probably fine, or oh, they're out, basically. But that overtake system is also new for this year, and maybe has some problems. Yeah. Hard to say. It's the first year in these cars. Notes, fairly rough for this. I didn't take a ton of notes. If you want to watch this race, I would recommend it. It's good, and it's just on YouTube. So, their first safety car of the race is on lap 10. Is the first major notable thing to happen in this race. And everybody pits here, and the big winner is Nick Cassidy, who's up to P5 from P12. And after a couple more laps, he's up to P3, and Kamui Kobayashi is leading this race because he did not pit at all. And then lap 16, we get another safety car. So the first safety car was 2 cars just went off the track at the exact same spot. I don't think they collided, but they both just went off and ran into the wall. So that was kind of weird. Lap 16, basically the same thing happens. Nick Cassidy's teammate and Harrison Newey both go off at another corner together, but again, don't think they actually came together.
Slippy.
But it wasn't wet or anything. Also worth noting, this race was at Suzuka, which is in the Mie prefecture.
There you go.
So yeah, lap 16, another safety car. And at this point in the race, there's been 4 independent crashes, those I've just said, and also there's also been 2 technical failures, cars just shut down. So we're already out 6 cars on lap 16.
Starting the season off strong.
Yeah, the race is 43 laps in total, or 90 minutes, whichever comes first. And just after the second safety car ends, they restart, and the car in P2 breaks down.
Oof.
So Nick Cassidy is now up to P2, and we have our third safety car. There's only 13 cars running at this point.
What caused the third safety car? That P2 car breaking down?
Yeah, he broke down and then just coasted into the worst spot possible for him to stop.
Was it the apex of a corner?
Yep.
What, really?
Just around a corner, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
He was kind of near an escape road and then just kind of kept rolling on past it.
Bummer. That's
asshole.
Yeah.
Was his teammate still in the race?
No, his teammate broke down earlier.
Huh.
Worth noting, his teammate that broke down earlier was on pole position. Actually, no, he's not gone out yet, but he will fail. So this guy started the race P2, was in P2, and then broke down. His teammate on lap 27 has a failure on his rear right and just crashes.
What is happening?
Cars, they're coming apart, man.
So after the third safety car restart, it's Kobayashi who hasn't pitted, then Nick Cassidy, then Naoki Yamamoto, who's the reigning champion and Jenson Button's Super GT teammate. So, yeah, next note, lap 27, the pole sitter has that rear right failure, crashes from 4th place, a 4th safety car. And
Jesus.
Kobayashi still doesn't pit, so he's still leading this race, but it's weird because it's mandatory for drivers to use both tire types.
Oh, okay.
There's a soft and medium tire, so he has to pit, and he just hasn't. And they keep getting these safety cars, so the field just keeps getting bunched back up. And he's just not pitting.
That's a weird thing.
So yeah, they restart again, and Kobayashi finally pits lap 42 of 43. So the last moment he possibly could, comes back out P10. But
ouch.
Yeah, points only go to the top 8 cars.
Ouch.
And I think pole sitter gets 1 point as well. So, yeah, Kobayashi led almost this entire race and got nothing for it because he didn't pit.
That seems like bad pit strategy.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't really anticipate 3 more safety cars.
I would say on the third one, I'd be like,
what's the duration of these safety cars? Are they all less than 1 lap duration?
They're a couple laps each.
You would think that on the second safety car, you'd be like, okay, pit as soon as you get around.
I think he was hoping to build enough of a gap to be able to pit safely.
Uh-huh.
And then on fresher tires than everyone be able to come back. By the third or fourth, I was like, especially on the 4th one, I was like, dude, you gotta pit.
Yeah. Because there is a point where it's just, it doesn't make sense not to do it.
Yep.
Apparently not.
But Kobayashi pitting promotes Cassidy into P1, Yamamoto is then P2, and third place is Yamashita. And fun note from the podium ceremonies, quote from one of the commentators, "Oh, Shouty Man John is here," because there's a man named John in the stands who's well known for coming to Suzuka and just shouting a driver's name over and over again.
And it's considered to be good luck.
Yes. And here
is there a Japanese man named John?
Yes, also known as Suzuka John Kun.
It's a pretty good nickname.
Yep. And yeah, good luck for him to shout your name, and he was shouting Nick Cassidy's name.
And it worked out.
Apparently it's working out.
Yep. So yeah, Nick Cassidy gets the first win of the Super Formula season, and that was a good, weird race. Because
that's a lot of safety cars.
Yeah. For a race that was less than 90 minutes to have 4 safety cars.
How many cars finished this race? 10?
12.
12? Ugh.
Yep. Oof, indeed. Daniel Ticktum, again, comparing back to Pierre Gasly, where Pierre Gasly, all the Super Formula races I watched him in, I was like, wow, he's really impressive. Daniel Ticktum, very much not so.
Isn't Nick Cassidy a Red Bull Jr.?
I think he was drinking a Red Bull on the podium, and the commentators were joking about him gunning for the Toro Rosso seat by showing off that Red Bull. I would very much love to see him in F1 because Nick Cassidy is great.
It seems like it makes sense that he would.
Yeah.
But
surely he's got the points. He's on the super license points. Like he's won Super GT. He was the runner-up in Super Formula last year. He was the runner-up in Super GT last year. Yeah.
Wait, he was the runner-up in Super Formula last year?
Yep.
I thought... Oh, no, it was
the year before.
Okay.
Where Pierre got robbed.
Yeah.
By the rain.
Yep. And Nick Cassidy lost out on the championship last year by 1 point. Also.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Super Formula. Again, it's just on YouTube. The channel's Let's Go Racing.
Yeah,
so you can just
up on
watch
my thing whenever I pull up YouTube on my computer.
Yeah.
So I don't even follow that channel. It's just like, yo.
Did you follow Nismo TV?
I don't think so.
Because if you did, it would just automatically.
I'm real bad at the
changed.
YouTube thing. I don't know how the kids do the stuff.
You know what else is on YouTube? Formula E. So my notes for this Formula E race, even less detailed than my Super Formula notes, in that this was maybe the least exciting Formula E race of the year.
You catch some Z's?
No, because
they're short.
It's less than 45 minutes. Actually, it is just over 45 minutes.
Power napping, man.
So this is round 7 of Formula E in Rome. On pole, it was Andre Lauderer, followed by Mitch Evans, Jose Maria Lopez, Van Dorn in P4. Pretty decent start for him. Bird is back in P12 and Verline P14. So not great for Bird and Verline, respectively. This race basically is just Lauderer versus Evans for the lead is most of the excitement. On lap 1, Bird gets hit pretty hard in the back. He's like, my race is fucking done. But then later on that lap, maybe at lap 2, there's a huge wreck that blocks the entire road, and the race gets red flagged.
The cars go into a chicane, and the first car just hits the wall, and then the car behind him goes under him, and then everyone else just can't go through the chicane because these two cars are blocking it off. It was...
Also, it was
it was actually a third car that caused this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just they blocked the chicane. It was red flag. So Sam Bird was able to limp his ass back to the pits, and they actually got his car fixed and got him running again.
How do you fix a car?
These cars are really prone to breaking drive shafts, as it turns out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drive shaft failures in this race. I mean, yeah, if you're in a safety car, why not?
Actually,
that's because
this was a red flag, not even a safety car.
Yeah, this was a red flag. So,
electric motors make a shit ton of torque. It makes sense.
There were a lot of cars broke them. It just seemed weird.
Every one of them was an 0304 Cobra half shaft.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam Bird's drive shaft broke, or was, Would he have been able to drive it back around if the drive shaft was broke? They replaced his drive shaft when he came in.
So here's the thing about these electric cars. I'm assuming it's not a singular drive shaft. I'm assuming it's got an output on either side.
Oh, that's true.
And drive shaft probably means more like half shaft.
Yeah, they're probably half shafts. Like it's probably direct drive from transmission to
rear end.
Yes. They might be one component.
Yeah. Like a, what is it called?
Ferrari FF.
No, there's a specific term for those gearboxes and I cannot remember what it is.
Transaxle.
Transaxle, yes. Except without the trans part.
Yeah. Or with. Carry on.
Yeah.
So Sam Bird gets back out after the race resumes. They have to figure out what the hell the order is because it's a goddamn mess at this point.
Whatever it comes out as.
Yep. So they shuffle them around in the pits and send them all out. And pretty shortly, I can't remember who it was. Somebody's drive shaft broke. A couple laps later, Mass's drive shaft broke. They get on the radio to Van Dorn. Like, hey, Van Dorn, your teammate's drive shaft just broke.
Be thinking about drive shafts.
Be thinking about drive shafts.
What the fuck does that mean?
Don't hammer it.
I guess. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is basically the Mitch Evans, Andre Lauderer show. And it is the two of them fighting basically the entire race. And eventually, with like 2 or 3 laps to go, Mitch Evans finally gets past Andre Lauderer. Kind of bumps him into a wall a little bit.
No.
But it's fine. Like, it was definitely like racing incident, especially for Formula E.
Not
it was
a clean
racing
pass.
incident, yeah. But he got past him. Andre Lauderer didn't seem like pissed about it. Like over the radio after the race, he was like, you had more pace than us. Like he wasn't like, he fucking pushed me into the wall. But
okay,
they ended up having to. Evans' engineer got at him on the radio, so the race is 45 minutes plus 1 lap. They were really concerned about running out of energy, and the leaders were like, we got to slow the fuck down so we don't get an extra lap in here. So they had to slow down to make sure they crossed the line after 0-0 instead of like with like 2 seconds remaining.
Ooh.
And also his engineer gave him an incredibly unhelpful message to do that. It's like, hey man, we got to slow down. He's like, how much? Tell me how much. He's like, you just got to slow down. Give us like 2 seconds. It's like, I will say also, Formula E puts out really good like highlight packages. Yeah. So they have like a race highlight package and they have a radio highlight package. And at least for this race, the radio highlight package pretty much told the story of the race, except with a bunch of good radio, including Stoffel Van Dorn, who finished P3. Because the car ahead of him broke down, I'm pretty sure. So Stoffel Van Dorn finishes P3, and then
his drive shaft breaks.
And wait, after the checkered flag?
After the checkered flag.
Neat.
Like, these cars just break drive shafts, man.
Yeah. And then he gets out of the car, and he's like, oh, wow.
What a piece of trash.
What a piece of shit. Throw this car in the bin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Well.
I mean, the car's broken down like at least this race, and I think at least 2 more, right?
Yeah, I think at least 2 more. He's also crashed a couple times. Van Dorn's been having a bad season.
I would be upset if I was in F1 last season and then in Formula E.
Like Felipe Massa?
Felipe Massa left on his own terms, I think.
Yeah.
But Stoffel got the shaft by McLaren.
He sure did.
The drive shaft.
Yeah.
God damn it, Devin.
So yeah,
yes.
I was happy for Van Dorn to get on the podium finally, because it was starting to seem like he might never. Although I think he'll be driving for Mercedes next year.
Oh, good for him.
Speaking
in Mercedes' new Formula E team.
Stoffel Van Dorn. I got a nice pivot. You ready for it?
I was going to read some numbers.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to have ruined this segue, but I was going to talk about the championship real quick. Verline's teammate Jerome D'Ambrosio is now up into P1 in the championship.
D'Ambrosio.
With 65 points. P2 is Antonio Felix da Costa with 64. Andre Lauderer is P3 with 62. Mitch Evans is P4 with 61. And then Lucas de Grassi P5 with 58. So again, just 7 points separate the first driver from 5th place, which is very
anybody's
tight.
game.
Yeah.
How many races are left in the season? 3?
6.
Oh.
I was gonna say, is it only 3? It's fucking April. Like,
yeah, but they have weird gaps.
They end in July. Because remember, they started in November.
And then took like 3 months off.
When's the next race?
This weekend.
Nice. Where's it at?
Paris.
What
Where's
country?
France? Have you heard of it?
Oh, I thought you meant Texas.
It was on fire last weekend.
Ooh.
Well, just a church. It was fine.
Ooh.
Speaking of churches, the Constructors' Championship.
It's brought to you by churches.
Techeetah is leading with 116 points, and then Virgin has 109, Mahindra 102, Audi 102. So,
Tight top
again,
three.
top up
Mahindra.
there. Yeah.
They make tractors.
They
do
sure
make
do.
tractors.
And they hired Pascal Verlaine
To make tractors?
to make tractors.
Nice. Good for him.
Actually, to get on podiums. I
Farmers
think
feed the
he's
world.
like P12 in the championship because he's had some bad luck.
Apparently, he started what, like P14?
Yeah, he was in the points this race. I think he got like a technical penalty because I was looking at the qualifying order,
His car wasn't electrified.
and I think he was
enough.
like P6 in the qualifying. So I was like, why is he so far back? And he must have got some penalty.
That sucks.
Yep. Which, speaking of penalties that suck, that I forgot to mention, there was in Super Formula, the car that started P2 got a penalty because his engineers forgot a wheel chock under his car, and like with too little time left, they had to run out and get this. And so all the engineers have to be off the track like a certain amount of time.
Oh, but they left the wheel chock.
But they left that wheel chock
Damn.
there. They said they'll run out and get it. So like
That's
it was
a
fine.
stupid fucking penalty.
And then he
Those
got to
guys
drive
are
through.
wild though.
Yeah.
Motorsport.com posted like a short clip on Facebook showing like their pit stops and the fucking guy like jumping over the car.
Yeah.
Like Super Formula is rad.
Yeah, Super Formula is rad because the pit stop, they fuel and replace all the tires, but they have way fewer guys than like Formula One has. So the same guy puts on both front tires, and he just jumps over the front of the car to do it.
Yeah.
It's very cool if you've not seen it.
Speaking of Stoffel Van Dorn,
As we just were. Yep.
as we just were, I only supply the best pivots. He's taking Jenson Button's spot in the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Oh yeah, and he's also
SMP Racing.
doing something else. He's also taking somebody else's seat in something
He is
else.
taking Brendan Hartley's seat at SMP Racing, and he'll be alongside Vitaly Petrov and Mikhail Alishin for the next 2 WEC races.
Cool. Good for Van Dorn.
Sucks for Brendan Hartley. Got kicked out of his seat.
Did he get kicked out, or
Yeah, he got booted out of his seat for Stoffel. Jenson Button said, and this probably has more to do with Toyota's dominance than anything else, but he does not want to participate in the 24 Hours of Le Mans because his fiancée is pregnant and he should spend time with her.
That's
And
what I saw also.
it's probably because he has no chance of winning.
Yeah, but Brendan Hartley is a WEC champion, so it seems really weird to replace him with Stoffel Van Dorn.
I don't know, man. I don't have the answers.
That's odd.
I don't have the answers.
Like I was wondering if maybe like Brendan Hartley had like a similar thing, like maybe he just got his wife pregnant or something. And was like, oh, I want to spend time with my wife.
My wife.
My Kiwi wife.
That's what New Zealanders sound like.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of my wife, I'm gonna pivot over to Fantasy GP.
Oh,
Tell me
nice.
about the Fantasy GP, Austin.
Boy, my wife did poorly.
Wow, way to put her on blast.
No, that was her own words. She was upset with her picks from this past week, as I am not prepared to continue talking.
Speaking of, make your picks for this week right now.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, you're almost out of time.
Because I have not yet.
So after Bahrain, Jeff,
Yes.
you're P2, buddy.
You're damn right I am.
Up 4 spots. I didn't do fantastic, and I'm down 2 spots to 5th. And Devin's still bottom.
I'm up another 2 spots. I keep climbing.
In 11th.
I'm in 11th.
Almost in the points, buddy.
You are now ahead of my wife.
Ooh, man, she's taking a steep dive.
She forgot to put her picks in, actually.
Oh, no.
So she's only 4 points behind Devin, and she forgot.
Yes, well, that first weekend was bad for me.
So I'll go ahead and run it down. Jake with Racers HQ is P1. Jeff P2. Zachary Carroll over at Eyes Up Auto Art is down 2 in P3. And then Daniel held his spot P4. Like I said, I'm down to P5. John P6. Adam Nielsen P7. Robbie Veerhout P8. Dusty Nixon up 2 to P9. And then Rally Sideways, which I don't know who that is.
This is one of our loyal listeners.
It is, but I don't know these people who don't use their real names. And it's upsetting. It makes me sad.
Tell us who you are.
Tell us who you are.
And then I'm in 11th. You forgot to say the guy in 11th.
I just ran down top 10.
But then in 11 it's me. I'm right there.
You got to get into the points, buddy.
Right there.
Speaking of getting into the points, Jeff.
What's up?
You want to tell me about F1?
It stands for Formula One.
What's that mean?
They use a formula to determine how the cars should be built, and it is the best formula. That's why it's number 1. Anyway, we are in Azerbaijan, specifically Baku. For the 2019 Baku Grand Prix. I don't know if it's the Baku Grand Prix or the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
It's the Azerbaijani.
Yep.
Regardless, it is a street circuit. It has the longest straight out of all of the circuits at 2.2 kilometers. And it also has the narrowest section of track at 7.6 or 6.7 meters. I don't remember which way it was. I think it's 7.6.
Is that little wide. Like right-left?
Yes, and it's a chicane that cuts across a literal castle.
It's got a fucking castle.
There is a castle on this track. Sergio Perez hit the castle last year in qualifying or free practice, I think.
It's a bad look, man. That thing's ancient.
Yeah, so this track is a very long straightaway at the beginning of it, and then a 90-degree left turn, followed by another 90-degree left turn, followed by another 90-degree left turn. And then you get into kind of a twisty, narrow street part of it, and then it opens back up towards the end to get back up onto the straight. So there's a lot of very different technical challenges in this track, more so than like a traditional street circuit of just, this is just a street circuit, or this is like a track. It kind of has a combination of a lot of that. The first year was a pretty boring race. The last 2 years have been a shit show of a race as far as cars smashing into each other, smashing into walls, people driving broken cars around the track to come back into the race and yelling at their pit engineers because they had to use the pit lane as the track because there's so much debris on the main straight. Cars intentionally running into other cars.
So pretty good race.
It has the potential to be a very good race, and I'm hoping with as many young faces as we have this season that trend will continue into a third year running of, boy, what a wild race this might be.
Fun fact I saw today, speaking of Sergio Perez, he's the only person to be on the podium twice
yes,
here.
Sergio Perez has the most podiums out of anybody for this track. Everyone else is just at 1.
Yeah.
Weird.
Including
Lance Stroll,
who
barely eked out P3.
Yep.
Bottas passed him in the last few tens of meters probably to get P2 from him. But
Weird.
That's because Lance Stroll is just out of position just because of this nightmare of wrecks and safety cars. We're
looking for like a Super Formula repeat.
This is where last year Grosjean under safety car bent it into a wall, and then they had to park a truck on the track, which its flatbed is roughly head height for the drivers. And Hamilton was upset about this, about having to drive next to this truck on this very narrow part of the track.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's a super interesting track. I don't know what the weather is. I didn't actually prepare that part of it. It's going to be warm. It's historically warm there and occasionally windy. I'm not expecting any rain. So watch it be a monsoon.
When's it happening?
At nighttime for us, 6:10 a.m. Sunday morning is the race for Central Daylight Time, I believe.
Wait, did you say nighttime for us?
For practices.
Tripped him up.
All right, so practice starts at 4 a.m.
Yeah, night.
That's morning.
That's morning.
That's very early morning. It's still dark out.
Yeah, 4 a.m.
It's
Thursday true. Is FP1. 8 a.m. I don't know why I just said Thursday. It's Friday. 4 a.m. Friday, FP1. 8 a.m. Friday, FP2. 5 a.m. Saturday, FP3. Qualifying Saturday at 8 a.m. And the race is Sunday at 7 a.m.
Boy, I was
not
wrong.
Getting up. Still.
I will be.
Azerbaijan is on the Black Sea? On the southern edge.
Where's that?
Close to Russia.
Where's that?
So you know where Sochi is?
No.
Go like all the way across that lake, I think. No, wait.
That's not a lake.
That's Lake Baikal.
Oh. Really?
Maybe. Geography.
So it's on the Caspian Sea.
Hey, I had a C in there, so that's close.
It's not that far away from the Black Sea, so I'll give you that.
All right.
It's also famously not in Europe, despite being the European Grand Prix.
You mean to tell me that it's not in far southeastern Europe?
No. No, this looks like Asia, I'm pretty sure.
It's like...
It is east of Turkey.
It's straight north from Iran.
Yeah, it is the...
It borders with Iran.
That is not Europe.
Yep.
That is the Middle East.
Speaking of, I actually have no idea where Sochi is now that I'm looking at this map.
Russia be big.
Russia?
It's about as big as the United States.
Isn't Sochi on the Black Sea?
Oh, Sochi is not where I thought it was. Yeah, Sochi is actually on the Black Sea, so there's that.
You tried. Oh, I see it.
Yes. So Sochi is northwest of Baku, so I basically had those two things backwards in my mind.
But we're not talking about the Russian Grand Prix.
We are not, but I was using it as a reference point for finding Baku.
But I didn't know where Sochi is.
Well, that's because you're fucking ignorant. Get out a damn atlas and get you learnt.
I want to purchase a fucking big, like...
Do you know how hard it is to find big maps?
I want like a big ass map to hang on the wall, and then we like put pins in it.
So I
just have it like disc shaped, like the planet.
Fuck you. So I tried to get a big map of the United States and then I took string around and like
I've seen it.
Here's the road. Other people haven't. You fuck. I'm explaining this, and I would put like labels of like, oh, this is this road trip or this flight or this other adventure that I took. But I had a really hard time finding a map that was big enough, and I'm still not happy with the map that I ended up with.
I might have the hookup for you.
Okay.
I will show you later.
Let me know.
Is it just maps.com?
It's probably not maps.com.
It's not going to be cheap, though.
But I'm cheap.
What about maps.biz? Did you try maps.biz?
No, I'm not saying... I don't disbelieve that those things exist.
No, but maybe they sell them.
I feel like they would be more likely to be a maps provider in the...
What about...
guess what? Looking at maps.com, they'll sell you a fucking map. Don't worry about it.
See this map right here? Ain't nothing bad ever happened with this map.
Speaking of URLs...
HatsuneMiku.racing.
Boom.
Let's Go Racing still in discussions to try and get Super GT. Hopefully they can actually do it.
I'm talking no imperialization.
Imperialization's good. I want that on a map. Give me miles, baby.
I was talking about like what Britain did to the world.
Colonizations, boy.
That's true. That imperialism is bad.
Talking about Guam. Talking about Puerto Rico.
What are you talking about now?
Talking about American imperialization.
I guess.
Oh, there's no I guess about it.
No, I mean, like, I guess this is what you're talking about.
Yeah. HatsuneMiku.racing.
It's true.
Radiopodcast.com.
It's true.
I think we're full on past our little extension thing for our previous host. So if you don't got us, you're not hearing this.
Oh, that's
and
true.
I'm sad.
That is true. It's probably fine. I'll find out if mine just works.
Yeah, you should find that out this week.
I mean, I'm gonna. It'll either be there or it won't.
But it sounds like you're not actually paying attention to it.
No, I
don't support us.
Do not
I download it every week, but I don't listen.
It's disappointing.
I hit play on it, and then I skip to the end and let it finish.
You gotta listen to them bumpers, man. I'm doing that again.
Oh, I actually am listening to the bumpers now that you have the bumpers back.
I like the bumpers.
Bumpers are good. We need them.
We got a bunch of them from this episode. I need to make a clip show for one of these weeks where we don't have anything going on, production minute, and it's just going to be bumpers.
I know a week where there's probably nothing going on that Jeff and I may be unavailable to record.
Oh, shit. You're right.
That sounds like a clip show type of episode.
Yep. I will look into...
You're not going to do a clip show.
I'll do a clip show. How far away is that?
A month and a half.
I'll start working on it with this episode right
like
here.
2.5, but...
Yeah. It's like 2.5. It's probably fine.
So you mean you're just gonna? This is the episode that starts the clip shows. You're just gonna hope that you get enough material over the next 8 weeks.
Dude, we record for like an hour before we actually start the episode.
Yeah, we got shit to talk about, man.
Also, worth
A whole
noting
bunch of fucking
that week in question, we do not have anything going on.
Sounds like a clip show episode. If you have a favorite bumper,
Oh wait, no, I'm
moment.
wrong. The opposite of that. There's 2 races.
Oh, fuck.
There's
What do you
Formula
mean?
1 and Super GT.
what's
Shit.
what?
Austria.
Oh, I like that race.
Yeah.
well then don't
Phone
go.
it
We're gonna be in a
Is
car.
it on the front or the back of that weekend?
front?
Okay. Fuck, that's worse.
Yep. A little bit.
I'll fly in.
Yeah.
I'm not that dedicated.
Just put that in your carry-on.
Yeah.
That whole computer. Just
Devin's got a laptop.
where's your?
It's true. I do have a laptop.
Just get some belts. Put it on. It's your backpack.
I listened to some podcasts where the people use their fucking voice memos app on their phone to record it.
Terrible.
Holy shit!
It's really good content. It's just a really shitty recording.
That
So
sounds
like
awful.
production quality's very low. Oh, and he pays a producer.
What?
Yeah, to like host and edit the episode. So I can't imagine what it's like before that guy gets a hold of it.
That was a very good Tim Allen impression, Jeffrey.
I really, as soon as that happened, I was like, I hope nobody says anything about that. And sure enough, you did.
Yep. When I hear Tim Allen, I've got to say something. It's like all the signs say, when you hear something, say something.
This is great content for a clip show.
Well, it's in a regular show.
Yeah, but like, what do you think clip shows are?
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Get fucked, boy.
It's true.
You got me.
Yeah, but
Fucking
Speaking
like
of
a chump over
speaking
here.
of getting people, we'll get you guys next week
Yeah.
biases.
for
Goodbye.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijani.
Azerbaijan.
Baku. That didn't work. Caspian Sea.
I'm not gonna have a ponytail at any point.
A man bun.
I have this on the record now.
He can just put that anywhere he wants. He can just insert it into the middle of a thing right after you say a sentence. And you can say, I'll have the best ponytail.